All right, we're back with another one. Just to clear things up, this channel is about picking the underdogs on every UFC fight card that have the best potential of winning. So if you're watching all these other YouTubers and they're just picking all the favorites, I'm the channel that you come to when you need an underdog that has some potential. They're like the perfect example was the Feely one. I knew that that fight was going to be a lot closer than what people were saying and what the odds were saying. I knew Delgado was more than likely going to win, but Feely at plus 390, I wasn't going to pass on that. And I'm not afraid to pick underdogs that nobody else is picking. You know, um, I know a bunch of YouTubers that will just pick a bunch of favorites, and all their confident picks are going to be the favorites. But I'm the guy that will, I'll choose 8 underdogs like I did on the Charlie O card. I'll pick 8 underdogs, and I did get 3 right, but I did go 6 for 6 on the card. I didn't go negative. I went neutral. And I know a lot of other people went 6 for 6 and they got 0 underdogs. And I know a couple other people that only got 1 underdog and they went 6 for 6. When I went 6 for 6, but I still managed to get 3 underdogs. I got Charlie O, Dior, and Bellato. And I know a lot of people weren't even on Bellato or Dior, so just to clear that up. Anyways, straight into it. Mario Pinto is going to be my pick. Felipe Franco's taking this on short notice. He already got exposed on the Contender Series by Freddie Vidal, who's not experienced or not really talented anywhere in any specific part or any martial art. So, Mario Pinto's fought UFC level already. He fought Jonathan Denise, finished him in round 2. Count the Austin Lane one if you want. I don't, but it's still UFC experience. So going Mario Pinto, he's the bigger fighter. He has a full camp, and he should definitely win this fight. Next pick is going to be Luana Carolina. She's the more experienced UFC fighter at this point. She's more seasoned. She has pretty good takedown defense, and Mullins is pretty much going to try and grapple fuck her. She's really soft body too. I feel like if Luana just lands a good knee or a body shot, Mullins is going to go down. She has got hurt and knocked out to the body before. Her striking is, it's all right, but it's still pretty trash compared to Luana. Luana throws a lot of volume. She has better accuracy. So I'm just going to go with the UFC vet here. Luana should win this one if she can stuff the takedowns and, outstrike her. The bigger cage is going to help Luana. So Luana for the win. Next pick is going to be Chanel Ravena Oliveira. She's pretty fucking shit. She's fought zero competition. I think she's fought 2 people where the records are literally 0-0. She lost to Lisboa, I think, or somebody that's in the UFC that's really fucking bad. Chanel's fought decent competition. She's fought the better competition, more experienced competition. So Chanel should win, and she actually does have power. She can put you out. So Chanel is going to win this Saturday. Next pick, Abdul Karim Al-Sawadi. He is the shorter guy here, but I feel like he does have some UFC experience at this point. He did lose to Rodstavov, something like that. The guy's pretty good. Their fight, they were 1-1 going into round 3. Al-Sawadi just got caught. But Shamrock doesn't have that kind of power that can put you out like that or rock you like that. He pretty much relies on the takedowns. He's pretty much a submission guy. Al-Sawadi has really underrated grappling. He has been taking some grappling matches outside the UFC where he's winning and he's beating these guys that have really, really good grappling, jiu-jitsu. So, Al-Sawadi's grappling is really underrated, and he's for sure the better striker here. So Al-Sawadi for the win. Next pick, I'm going with Mantis. He should destroy Chikoli. Chikoli's pretty fucking dog shit. I don't even know how he's still in the UFC at this point. Do not trust Chikoli. He's been open about gambling, not throwing fights or anything like that, but he does gamble like poker and stuff like that. And, you can just never trust those guys because you don't know if they're coming back for a paycheck or something. So, but Mantis should destroy him. He's the better striker, better fighter. Just the cardio thing. Not sure if he can go 3 rounds, but he should destroy Chikoli. Next pick and first underdog for my UFC London picks, Louis Sutherland. I don't know how he's the underdog here. I know Brando's probably the favorite because they're expecting, or I guess they're expecting for him to come out and just knock out Louis Sutherland in the first round. But Brando's never been past the first round. He has really sus cardio. He does gas within the first 4 minutes, so I don't know if you want to bet on a minus 200 that only has 4 minutes of cardio. Louis Sutherland can go 3 rounds. He has been 3 rounds. He does mix in a little bit of grappling, clinching, really good leg kicks. Brando has really good leg kicks also. But I'm trusting Louis, who who I know can go 3 rounds, 15 minutes, no problem. Louis can take a shot. He has a chin. He just needs to survive the Brando onslaught for the first 4 minutes, and if he does, I see Louis just fighting a technical fight, landing some shots, leg kicks, maybe even finishes Brando. If Brando gets really, because he's never been past the first round, he does gas really bad. And if Louis can take him down, Louis just gonna lay on him. And Louis does have ground and pound. He does throw some nasty elbows if he does get full mount. So Louis Sutherland is a very, very live underdog, and he's gonna win this Saturday. Next pick and next underdog, and if y'all watched my original video, I was picking Keita at first, but fuck no, we're going Nathaniel fucking Wood. I don't know how I missed it or what I was thinking, but Nathaniel Wood shouldn't even be the underdog here. Keita has really sus cardio. He's fought the less experienced competition. In his past 5 fights, he's fought people that don't really have any knockout power, like Nathaniel Wood does. And Nathaniel Wood's a vet at this point. He's been in the UFC. He's already fought explosive fighters before. He just beat Jose Delgado, who's explosive, exactly like Keita. And Keita doesn't really wrestle. I know he just took a fighter who's he's 5-4 now, and Keita it took him 4 rounds to finish him in 2023. And you have Nathaniel Wood, who was fighting people like Charles Jourdain, Andre Fili back then. Nathaniel Wood's just fighting, and he's fought the better competition. I know Keita's probably a favorite because he's fought bigger competition. He's fought at 155. This fight will be at 145. Excuse me. But, I do see Nathaniel Wood winning this fight. He does have power, and he will crack Keita. And, he's been cracked before by people with less power. I like Nathaniel Wood here. He is the better fighter, and he will mix in grappling. He does get dropped a lot, but he dropped Jose Delgado. He dropped Fili. He's dropped a bunch of other fighters. And, Keita does start to fade. As the rounds go on, he loses power, and he leaves his chin up really fucking high. And I could just see Nathaniel Wood cracking him with the left for sure. So Daniel Wood's going to win this fight on Saturday. Next pick, next underdog, Axel Sola is going to win this Saturday. I know it says he's 5'11", but he's actually 6'2". Mason Jones is 5'10". I just haven't been impressed with Mason Jones. He was getting cracked a lot. He got cracked. He got dropped by Oki. If Oki didn't just go crazy for the finish, and if he would have let Mason Jones back up, he probably would have beat Mason Jones. Jeremy Stevens was cracking Mason Jones also. He had Mason Jones was all bloodied up, bruised. That's because Jeremy Stevens was fighting at 145. He's a really small 155. And Axel Sola is a massive 155er. He's 6'2". He started karate when he was just 4 years old. He started MMA when he was in his teenage years. He's even been to Dagestan, worked on his wrestling over there. That should show you how dedicated he is to this, And I think the wrestling is the big part here. Right? The wrestling is going to be able to keep up with Mason Jones. And Mason Jones does rely on that wrestling. He gets hit a lot. Like I said, he was getting cracked by Jeremy Stevens, got dropped by Oki. Just haven't been impressed with that. Axel Sola took a short notice fight up a weight class at 170 and beat the fuck out of Reese McKee. He mixed in grappling. He has a nasty 1-2. I think he is southpaw. So, Axel Sola, I do think if the wrestling can match Mason Jones, then Axel Sola is going to win 100% on Saturday. Because the striking is way better. I could see Mason Jones all bloodied up, and the cardio is not an issue for Axel. So Axel's going to be a problem for the 155 division. He's going to win this Saturday. Next underdog, I'm going Danny fucking Silva. He's really underrated. He has volume, a lot of volume. He throws a lot of strikes. He will mix in grappling. He's 5'11". His last fight was Kevin Vallejos, who he took to a decision. And if that was a 5-round fight, I could see Danny winning that fight because he was walking down Kevin in the 3rd round. Danny has really good fucking head movement. Like I said, he does mix in grappling, has a lot of volume, has UFC experience at this point. John Silva and Danny Silva are the only 2 people to take Kevin to a decision. And like I said, if that was a 5-round fight, I could honestly see Danny possibly winning that fight because Kevin was gassing out. Danny does have a lot of pressure. He keeps his hands really low, and I think that's key against Curtis Campbell because Campbell, he hasn't fought really good competition. The guy that he beat on Contender Series took a guy with a record of 2-2 to a split decision, which is not impressive at all. That's really bad. And the 2 people that Curtis has fought with his professional record were, they weren't really a threat with the striking. And Danny Silva has really good boxing. Like I said, he's really underrated. He's a live dog. Curtis relies too much on his kicks and his grappling. He doesn't really have punches. He doesn't really throw. And this is a step down, in my opinion, because, you go from Kevin to Kurt Campbell. It's a big step down. And I think Danny's going to win this Saturday. No, he's not going to. I don't think he is going to win this Saturday. He's a very live dog. That big cage is going to help him a lot. And, Danny fucking Silva. Next fight, going Christian Leroy Duncan. Dude has just been on a tear, man. Just knocked out Marco Tulio. His striking's really fucking good. He's really fucking powerful. Roman Dolidze has a fucked up back, and he still fought Fluffy with the fucked up back, and I just don't trust that. Pretty sure Christian Leroy Duncan's gonna knock him out. Probably 2nd round. I know Dolidze is probably gonna try and clinch and do all this other shit, but Christian Leroy Duncan, man, he's a confident pick. He's gonna win this Saturday. My God, this is crazy. Austin Lane is still in the UFC. I don't even know how, man. Iwu all the way, man. Confident pick. I don't even need to say much about this fight. Austin Lane is going back down to light heavyweight. I don't think that's going to make a difference here at all. His only way of winning is if, he pretty much just wrestles Iwu the whole fucking fight. I don't see that happening though. Iwu's probably going to chin him in round 1 or round 2. Confident pick, Iwu. Next pick, MVP. Pretty easy pick. Sam Patterson. He just gets caught way too much. He was getting caught by Trey Waters, getting caught by Danny Barlow, and those two guys are fucking trash. Those guys aren't even in the UFC anymore. I think Trey Waters had Sam Patterson he had him a little bit bloodied up, had him bruised up. And if you're getting caught like that by Trey Waters, you're definitely going to get caught by MVP. MVP's a really good striker, like I said. He has good takedown defense. If Sam Patterson tries to take him down, I feel like, MVP can stand, he can take it. And it's going to be in the bigger cage, so it's going to benefit MVP. He's going to be able to move a lot more in that big cage. So MVP all the way, confident pick, favorite also. Next fight, I'm going Luke Riley. If y'all didn't catch it, Luke Riley, Clark Kent from Smallville, fought Lex Luthor his last fight in Bogdangrad. Shit was funny as fuck, because Luke Riley really does look like Clark Kent. If you guys Google it, Clark Kent, Smallville, looks exactly like Luke Riley. But they both fought Bogdangrad. I know Michael Aswell went to a split decision with him, had trouble with him. But Michael Aswell's just a pure boxer, volume boxer. He has really good cardio, really, really fucking good boxing, but he doesn't shoot takedowns or mix in his takedowns. Just a pure boxer. But they both they both fought Bogdangrad. Michael Aswell went to a split decision. Luke Riley brutally knocked him out. So if this is just a pure striking match, which I think it is, these guys are going to crack each other. But I'm going to go with the guy with more power in Luke Riley. So Luke Riley for the pick. All right, last pick. I'm going Evloev. I just think he's the better overall fighter. He's going to nonstop pressure you with the wrestling. And if you look at their past 5 opponents, Evloev just beat Aljamain Sterling. He hasn't fought since 2024 though. I wish he was more active, but it's not his fault. It's kind of weird with the featherweight division. Lopes getting the second title shot and stuff like that. But he beat Aljo, former champ. He beat Arnold Allen, very dangerous. Beat Diego Lopes, very dangerous, and he beat Dan Ige. Those are his last 4 opponents, and those are top level guys that are very dangerous. And Lerone Murphy, really good guy. Really good striker. He has really good takedown defense too. He has the home advantage, taller. But if you look at his past 5 opponents, Aaron Pico, Josh Emmett, a washed Edson Barboza, Dan Ige, and Josh Kulabau. So, if you compare their past 5 opponents, Evloev's fought the more experienced, higher level, more dangerous competition. Lerone Murphy, he got fed Aaron Pico. I did pick Lerone in that fight. He got fed Josh Emmett, 2025, 40-year-old Josh Emmett. And Dan Ige has always been like a top 15 fighter. And Edson Barboza in 2024 is Edson Barboza 2024 is pretty washed. And Josh Kulabau is it's like a contender series fighter. So, Josh is good, but he's not on the level of Evloev's past opponents. So Evloev should win this fight. Another favorite, easy pick though. But yeah, make sure you guys, give me a like if you like the video. Subscribe if you want more picks, more underdog picks. Like I said, I do this for I do this because I share my underdog picks, because I got tired of seeing all these other YouTubers just picking favorites, and they're scared to pick underdogs. Like last year, I got so many good underdogs that I lost count. Michael Johnson plus 600, D-Rod plus 500, Paulo Costa all on that one card. I got Chris Duncan as an underdog, Ribeiro, Mackenzie Dern as an underdog. Just so many underdogs, so many that I lost count of how many I got last year. And it's been a good year, man. Last Saturday, 200 dogs won. It was Eric Anders and Kutalaba, and I did get Kutalaba right. So I went 8-6 on the card. I got Kutalaba right, and before that, I'm good on the main events too. I've gotten 3 out of 4 underdogs that have won in the main events, and got Kevin Vallejos right. And I know other YouTubers that haven't even gotten underdog main event this year, and that's because they've been on fire this whole year. So yeah, I do this so you guys get the underdogs, the ones that have the most potential of outright winning these fights, and that will fight for your money. So yeah, make sure you guys check me out on the other videos, and I appreciate all you guys' support. Thank you.